I'm now calling to order a regular meeting of the City Council, Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Councilwoman Rogancy.
Here.
Councilwoman McGee.
Here.
Councilman Dwyer.
Here.
Councilman Boyke.
Present.
Councilman Lafferty.
Here.
Councilman Noonan.
Present.
Councilwoman Moore is present. We have a quorum.
Next item.
Next item is for adoption of the agenda. So moved.
The consent agenda. Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to remove item 5E and move that to the regular agenda, please.
4E.
I'm sorry, 4E.
4E. That will be 13D.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'd like to table the consent agenda. So moved.
Support to table.
Motion to table, Ms. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty.
Yes to table.
Mr. Dwyer,
Yes to table.
Mr. Boyke,
Yes to table.
Mr. Noonan,
Yes to table.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Item is, or consent agenda is tabled. Next item.
Thank you. The next item is adoption of the agenda, so moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to add as 11C, approve the settlement of the UAW 412 Unit 35 UAW agreement for 2025 to 2029, and that will be 11C. 11D will be an item to request to appoint Nancy Cooper Green to conduct a license appeal hearing for Ms. Camp, do you have the name of that spa?
12 Mile Spa LLC.
Oh, this is the same one, okay, 12 Mile Spa LLC. Under announcements, I'd like to add an update on the 13-mile construction. I believe Ms. Gapshis is here, and we'll discuss that there if that's okay. What was 4E will now be 13D. We do have a slight correction to make on 13A. The amount is, do you have that corrected amount, Mary? I think it's 35. We'll get it. I'll announce it, but that number will change. We'll have it by the time we get to the item. Also, we need to add as item 11E, which is settlement pursuant to terms discussed in closed section in the Tony Walker versus City of Warren case.
Any other amendments?
Tell me what C is again.
UAW contract?
Is that B, C 11C, right?
Yes,
UAW.
11C, and then 11D is the medical spa appeal.
Okay.
Okay, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you. Next item is 6A, calendar of pending matters. Motion to receive and file with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. There is an outstanding item that the council has asked for regarding the elected officials' compensation. The mayor had 10 days to provide us with the documentation we requested. We have not gotten that. We have tabled the items on the consent agenda to a point where we start getting what we ask for. There is a court order mandating when items are to be provided to council. and we would like those items to be sent to us. None of us want to go to court. We are trying to avoid that, but we need the mayor to understand how very important and serious it is to us that we get the items we requested. We are representing the people in this city, and we deserve to have the documentation available to us that we feel we need to represent the citizens in the best way possible.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7A, approval of the bills of the general revenue funds. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none.
Yeah, everything we vote on tonight, there is no reconsideration period, and the bills are, the checks are going to go out tomorrow. So keep that in mind when you're voting, if you have a question that you may want to ask to have something tabled if you're not sure. Thanks, Mary.
I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7B, approval of the bills of the water and sewer systems. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is audience participation regarding agenda items only.
Members of the audience who would like to address City Council this evening may do so by filling out a form on the left side of the stage. This audience is for agenda items only, and you have 3 minutes. No forms. Okay. End of audience. Next item.
Next item is announcements. Madam Chair,
Ms. Moore.
if I could ask Ms. Gabshis, if that's who's going to address this, just to give us an update on 13. Getting a lot of calls about 13 Mile.
What's 13 mile and what?
13 between Hoover and Shaner, or through Van Dyke and Hoover, basically.
Hi, good evening. So the update is there's been several delays due to underground conditions. We had to reroute water mains. There was an encased steel storm sewer that they had to cut through. There were several things that they encountered that caused delays. So we met and went over all the options that we have, and we decided to pave the south side of Chicago Road 13 Mile in the spring. Due to cost reasons, it would have been extremely expensive to cold weather protect all of that concrete. And what we're gonna do is shift all of the traffic to the north side, so there'll be one way each way. And all turns, all the ramps will be open, all the turns will be permissible, and that'll be until spring, and then we'll go back to constructing the south side.
So traffic going east on 13 Mile, the north lane will be open?
The north 3 lanes are already poured. They're already ready to drive on. So we're
Okay.
gonna, within the next couple of weeks, we're gonna shift all the traffic over to the north 2 lanes, one way each way.
Oh,
And then there'll be 1 lane extra buffer zone.
okay.
And then, all the driveways on the south side will also be accessible. We'll have temporary pavement going to those driveways. So everything will be basically open, all turns, all ramps. From Van Dyke, you could turn left, go straight, go right. Everything's been approved by the county and the state
Do you know when that will be?
in the next couple of weeks.
Okay,
This shift.
okay. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Madam Chair, are we allowed to ask questions?
Sure.
Something you said rang a bell in my mind. There were a lot of cost overruns or damage to lines or water mains, or what was the extent of damage there? Are they responsible for the damage, basically?
Yeah, if they damage something, they're responsible for it, but sometimes our as-built aren't correct. Things were built a long time ago, so where we expect things to be, they're not. And then we had to reroute and design on the fly, basically, and those are delays that happen. For instance, the storm sewer that crossed that they had to replace, no one knew it was steel encased. So that took a long time. They had to saw cut through all the steel. There's a lot of slagcrete under 13 Mile because it used to be all farm area. And we knew that that existed because we do soil borings, but our soil borings are every 400 or 500 feet. So we don't know the extent of it until we dig it up. So there's
Are they
reasons for
receptive
delays.
to paying for all the damage they've caused?
They really haven't caused any damage. I mean, they did saw cut through the Bear Creek culvert. They're paying for that. But all the rest of the stuff are,
I saw the water department there, and I asked them, and they said they cut into the water line.
no, they cut into the Bear Creek culvert by accident when they saw cut. They didn't cut into the water line.
There is some liability with this company then, right?
Yeah, they're gonna pay for that. They-
That's what I asked you.
Yes, yes. But you said water line. I think that's water main. Sorry.
I mean, I look at the construction of that, I mean, I've seen a lot of roads constructed, but the drive-through there, it's a hazard. I'd like to know how many car claims we got against us already, or the company, because there's no way to navigate that at night, especially if someone had a couple drinks or a senior, and, you
Or
know,
with ice, yeah.
2 inches over, your wheel's in the ground, in a hole.
Well, 13 Mile, we're switching everybody over to the new pavement for winter.
Well,
So-
now they're doing it, but
Right.
everybody that drives that route every day, it's a hazard.
Yeah.
And I couldn't say nothing good about this company, nothing good at all. And that's the feedback I get from the residents there, just letting you know.
Okay.
No further questions.
Thank you. Ms. McGee?
I just wanted to say thank you. I know we don't hear it a lot, but I wanted to say thank you. I didn't have any questions for you.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to say thank you to the Warren Police Department, Officer Bryce, along with the other officers as well, the city of Warren, how so many organizations and churches stepped up for the turkey giveaway. We had so many, I have so many flyers that everyone is sending me. They even sending them all the way back to Detroit, sending them to me. Can you post it? I said, it can't be a turkey alive left on this earth in the United States, because everyone is really helping out by passing out food and giving away turkeys. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for doing so.
Any other announcements?
Madam Chairman.
Mr. Lafferty?
Thank you. I'd like to offer congratulations to the Warren Police Department for compelling the Detroit Police Department to bring their A game to Warren. Now, while a certain member of the council might have been rooting for a few of his buddies on the opposing team, Ms. McGee and I were rooting on Warren and cheering them on. Mr. Councilman Dave Dwyer here, we had some friendly competition in the stands as to who was going to win the First Responders Tour last Friday at Fitzgerald High School. So I don't remember what the score was.
I was just going to ask you, what was that final score?
I think they had a couple of points more than Warren.
I think it might have been like 81 to 52.
Don't quote him on that.
Don't quote me on that, but
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. But the real winners really was the First Responders Tour, the host organization that promote positive professional interaction with our youth and the police department. And so many times somebody's first interaction with police is at a traffic stop, or it's just not in a good situation, and this opportunity is a friendly, competitive game, so young people and the police interacting in a very positive manner, helping to build a rapport early on. And so great night, and wow, some of the athletes on the department. If there were any scouts out there, we might be in trouble. And then finally, look for the work of a proud Warren resident, on Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning, the Thanksgiving Day Parade through the beautiful Woodward Avenue of Detroit, made possible by many talented artists and teams of people, and one in particular that I'll call out, Paul Jersey, Warren resident, head of logistics for the parade company. I don't know how they would do it without him, but he does a marvelous job, and that's the reason why we have a parade. So I don't know when he sleeps, but we have a parade because of all the work he does. So well done to Mr. Jersey, and happy Thanksgiving. Have a blessed Thanksgiving to one and all.
Thank you, Mr.
Madam
Lamb.
Chair?
Mr. Noonan and Ms.
Okay.
Ms. Moore.
I'd like to point out that the Warren tree lighting is at One City Square in Warren, Michigan, 48093. It's in District 5, what can I tell you? But it's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. There are a lot of great events, including a drone show, hay rides, I think hot chocolate, just a whole bunch of good stuff. If you haven't done it yet, you should. If you've done it, you know you want to get there again. So, oh, I didn't give the date. That's December 5th? 6th.
Sixth.
Saturday,
Saturday.
December 6th. Yike.
5 o'clock.
From 5 to 8, December 6th, Saturday. Yeah, okay. And then there's the winter warming drive through the Warren Crime Commission. They have drop-offs for various kinds of clothing that are listed on this flyer, which you can't see. Items needed are new twin blankets, snow comforters, clean coats, hats, gloves, new socks. The drop-off box locations are City Hall outside of the library entrance, Warren Community Center, at the main entrance at 5460 Arden, and the pool entrance, and the Lincoln High School main office, the Casino High School, and Warren Woods Tower High School. For more information, you can contact the mayor's office, 586-574-4520. Then there's the Macomb County Veterans Navigator, which can help veterans find a lot of good services. You can find them at 586, talk to them at 586-200-7888, or through MCCMH Customer Service, 855-996-2264. They're located at North 43-740 Groesbeck Highway in Clinton Township, and they have an email address, veteran.navigator@mccmh.net. So you can get help from them. The crisis hotline is 24/7, 586-307-9100. We know that holiday times can be very rough on a lot of people, maybe harder on veterans. So please look out after the veterans. And then there's the Share the Gift of Hope this season with Join Care House and being part of a family's hope and heading a healing journey by fulfilling their holiday wish list. You can contact Marshanta at CareHouse 586-463-0123. Thank you so much, and have a happy holiday. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Noonan. Ms. Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We've had some complaints that came into council office regarding sightings of at least one coyote in the area of Sutherland Street. And there is nothing that our animal control can do about that situation. We don't have the control or the tools to deal with that. And the DNR will not help either. Their answer is usually, you know, they were here first, the coyotes, and we just have to live with them. So I just would tell anyone, if you have small animals and maybe chickens, that you want to, I don't know anybody's got a chicken, but maybe. But you might want to watch out for them. And just to have a heads up, the Warren Symphony Orchestra is having their annual gala on January 29th. It's going to be at Andiamo, and the Warren Symphony will be performing. This is our third event of this type. It was just wonderful last year, and I think it's going to be fabulous this year. If anyone is interested, you can go on the web at warrensymphonyorchestra.org for tickets. There's also sponsorships available if anyone is interested in that. And also, as she has done for many, many years, the city clerk is sponsoring Toys for Tots program. It's also, you can drop off toys at the clerk's office, and she's done great work over the years, got great response. So if you've got an unwrapped new toy, please drop it off at the clerk's office. That's it for me, thank you.
Any other announcements?
What did I say? Oh, I'm sorry, the treasurer, Lori Barnwell, I'm very sorry. It's Lori Barnwell.
Thank you. Okay.
She'll be mad at me now. She'll be
Hearing and
texting me.
seeing no additional announcements, next item.
Next item is 11A, consideration and adoption of a resolution approving a Michigan Department of Transportation performance resolution for governmental agencies for annual application and permit for miscellaneous operations within state highway right-of-way. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes,
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11B, consideration and adoption of a resolution accepting the transfer of 6 tax reverted properties from the county of Macomb. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
yes,
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is approval of the UAW 412 Unit 35 UAW Agreement 2025-2029. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion. Ms. Moore?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item came over late yesterday, and the email said that the mayor's office had just gotten this item. I can understand if someone sends me an email and says, look, somebody messed up in the office. This item is late. We're really sorry. Will you put it on? But when somebody lies to me, that is not the way to operate. That is not the way to do business. This contract was approved and voted on by the UAW 412 unit well over a month ago. So this item did not just get to the mayor's office at the end of the day yesterday. And the attorneys have been emailing for weeks. This is probably the third meeting that one attorney or another has emailed or sent me a text message asking me if their contract was on the agenda. And of course, I had to tell them no. And this is just not the way we should be operating. Almost every time we settle a contract, it goes on the agenda, the immediate agenda, whether it's late, adding, we've done many at the table, because it's been negotiated by the mayor's team and the union, and at that point, once it's voted on, it's ready for us. What the holdup was, I don't know, and that is not the way we do business around here. So I was not happy, but I put it on the agenda because the attorneys deserve to have their contract voted on and approved. But I sure as heck hope we're not going to be treating our union employees this way going forward. It is unacceptable. I'm totally in favor of the contract. They've agreed to it. So, Mr. Fox, if you want to summarize the contract, go ahead. I'm not mad at you.
Thank you, Mr. Fox.
Good evening, Council. Richard Fox, City Controller. Well, this contract follows the trend of the non-public service safety union contracts. The pay raises are the same. The benefits other benefits that were given were the same as the other bargaining units, the GELC union and the other UAW group. Probably the only difference in this one was we did make some changes with the pay scales in the attorney's office. We felt that to be competitive, they needed to be adjusted. And so other than that, that's pretty much the sum up of this agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Fox.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion?
Madam Chair?
Mr. Boyke?
For Mr. Fox, the item that was the contract settlement that was sent to us, is that their whole union contract? or just what was
No,
negotiated?
that's just the tentative agreement, then we'll incorporate those changes into their total contract.
All right, if I come to the office, could I get a copy of the whole contract?
Sure.
For council? Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Madam Chair?
Ms. Moore?
Just to clarify for everyone sitting up here and for the clerk, treasurer, and the mayor, our benefits as elected officials is based off of this contract.
That's correct.
So historically, so that we don't have our own pay, benefit scale or anything, that is where our benefits derive. Of course, no pay raises have been discussed because the Elected Officials Compensation Commission has not met for about 8 years now. And they're only allowed to meet every odd year. So we've missed the window. So the Compensation Commission cannot meet until 2027, the next time. They have to meet. Nobody's saying they have to give a raise or whatever, but I would think hardworking people in the clerk, the treasurer, the mayor, all of us sitting up here, we work very hard. And to think in 8 years that we didn't deserve a raise or anybody else is just not fair to, and that was,
It's 10.
pardon me?
10 years.
It was 17, right?
That's 10 years instead of 10 years.
Pardon me?
Go ahead.
Oh, no,
10
it-
years.
they met in 2017.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I understand, right? I don't know, maybe Mr. Fox remembers. But they're supposed to meet whether they recommend a raise, or they probably could say, guess what? We're taking away, we're lowering your, I wouldn't think they do, because, it's obvious that we all work very hard. You might not agree with everything we do, but everybody up here works pretty darn hard. So I think that was a disservice and a slap in the face to every one of us, to the clerk, to the treasurer. I guess the mayor can slap herself in the face if she likes to do that. I don't know, I haven't heard that she does that, but maybe she does. So, anyway, that's where we are, and I appreciate your hard work and the bargaining unit and bargaining in good faith and coming to an agreement. We appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is request to appoint Nancy Cooper Green to conduct a license appeal hearing for 12 Mile Spa LLC at 8236 12 Mile Road, Warren, Michigan, 48092. Motion to approve with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore?
Yes, this item has been before us a long time ago. Their license was taken away by the police. And they, at one time, had applied to reinstate their license. And we had voted to engage Nancy Cooper Green to be the hearing officer to handle that. She did quite a bit of research and everything, and then they withdrew their request. So they've now requested again to appeal the decision of the police department to deny that license. So instead of reinventing the wheel, just going to appoint her again if everyone is in favor of that. She's a former chief assistant attorney, city attorney here, so she's quite familiar with the city, and she's kind of a perfect fit. We don't have to reinvent the wheel with her.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing and hearing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 11E, approve the settlement discussed in closed session in the matter of Tony Walker versus City of Warren and Allstate Insurance Company, Macomb County Circuit Court, case number 2023-004-2222 NF, Honorable Diane Druzinski, pursuant to section, no, I don't need that part. That's enough. That's it. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12A, which is a legal update from Mr. Schroeder.
Thank you. The deadlines for next year for city charter amendments are mid-May for the August ballot and then mid-August for the November ballot. Ms. Michaels indicated she's going to be sending over a potential city charter amendment due to some case law that has changed some of the requirements for running for office in terms of how long you have to live in the city before you run for mayor or council or clerk or treasurer. And we may have some other related amendments. That would, of course, under our procedures, come to the Charter Review Committee, which I assume could meet early next year to decide whether to take this up and on what time frame. So I just wanted to put that on the council's radar. Any other charter reforms can go to the Charter Review Committee for review. We've had pretty good success over the years at these reforms. We had a minor setback at the election this year, but I think it's pretty much over the years 90% plus of these charter amendments do pass. They're intended to reform the charter and make it work with sort of our modern world. Other than that, I gave a lengthy update last week. I'm continuing to monitor the Michigan legislation that would limit the number of marijuana retail facilities in the city, which would apply to Warren if it gets through the House and Senate and signed by the governor. Could have an impact on a lot of things, but the most important thing is that we did settle a case earlier this year. It had great impact. It lasted 5 or 6 years, and this would have no negative impact on that. So we will continue to monitor that.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to receive and file.
Motion to receive and file.
Support Lafferty.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Schroeder. Next item.
Thank you. Next item is 12B, Council Secretary Moore, discussion and rate presidential and candidate visits. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Ms. Moore.
Thank you. We asked for this information, I don't know, a long time back, and I think Mr. Fox and I got our wires crossed a little bit because I thought they were working on it. And apparently, he clarified last week that a report had actually come over, and I just frankly missed the email. But we had, during the election cycle, we have, candidates come, presidential candidates or vice president, and sometimes the sitting president comes. And there are, of course, a lot of costs that go into providing protection for those individuals. Police, fire, DPW, even our big trucks are used as barriers at facilities where some of these people come. We provide, I believe, a fire squad or EMS. Right, we have drones, but we have, from the time I know the president touches down, we have an ambulance constantly with the president at the venue. Also, we did have drones from the airport. We were the first fire agency drone to be given permission at the airport to fly that close so that they could watch give the president protection. My feeling is that if a sitting president or a former president comes here, we must provide and should provide the protection that they deserve. But when candidates come, I think that they should be paying something. And we should get a down payment. If they're coming and they want our coverage, they should pay something up front. Because I forget the timetable here, but it's over $100,000 it cost us. Now, a small city, that could bankrupt them. Now, I'm sure then they go to the county or the state or whatever, but we're sort of penalized because we are as big as we are, and we have the resources, but we should be compensated. So the controller's office Mr. Knapp sent the letter to the Secret Service. He sent them a bill for $101,999.75. Now, that went out September 9th. Has that check arrived, Mr. Fox? Oh, that's why he's trying to close the post office. I get it. So, we're probably, I don't know, one of the questions, I think Mr. Boyke asked me, no, Mr. Dwyer asked me today, have any other cities been reimbursed from the Secret Service? I don't know. I mean, we probably could ask, I know Florida spends, what they spend there is extraordinary.
Richard Fox, City Controller. Not that the research that Mark did in my office, we're not aware that anyone gets reimbursed, but I do think it's a good policy that we, if they contact us that they're gonna come, then, you know, we let them know that we have a policy of upfront cost or a down payment, and then, so that we get, because it, as you just stated, over $100,000 in costs for all the candidates that came over from the last election. And I bet you it's even a little more, but.
Right, you can't think of every little
Right.
thing afterwards, right?
So I do think it's I would recommend that council adopt some type of policy that we can initiate, and when someone does, and we'll prepare the necessary documents to.
At least some sort of minimum, you know, you're coming to Macomb, you know, whatever, how many hours, you know, maybe we, you know, have a minimum of 20 grand or 15,000 or something, pardon me? Pardon me? Oh, no. We don't provide, I don't think we provide anybody except the presidential or vice presidential candidates, police protection or ambulance, or, I don't think.
Not that I'm aware of.
I think it's only at the highest level. And I get it. I mean, I think they should, but candidates are different than sitting presidents or former presidents, or, I don't even know if vice presidents receive Secret Service
They're supposed to.
protection. I think they've stopped it for some of them now. But I think that would be good policy. Well, after the first of the year, maybe we'll come up with something and figure that out. Thank you, and thank you for putting this together. I think it's good for us to see that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Motion to receive and file.
Motion to receive and file?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next item.
The next item is 12D, which is,
See.
C, sorry. Council Secretary Moore, discussion in Ray, personnel updates. Motion to receive and file with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. It's come up, there's been some personnel issues, and we had asked for a report, and we did get the report. I think one of the issues is maybe being discussed in negotiations, but, you know, we've just gone through this issue with Treasurer Lori Barnwell, her office, and we went, you know, we spent hours of going over budget items, and we had a presentation, and we voted on the budget, and then, you know, months and months later to find just, everything was just a mess. And I wanted to just see where we were at. I think most of the things have been taken care of at this point. Mr. Gages is here. Maybe he can bring us up to date.
Hi, Jared Gajos, HR Director. So the report you have before you is going from, I think it's July to August, beginning of September. I can send a more updated report. Usually on the report, if it's highlighted green, that means we filled the position. So what we're tracking is requests for personnel. So it goes from the minute we learn that someone is putting in for a position, and we track it along the way, from if it's at the mayor's office, controllers, my office. If a department head chooses to halt on the process, to say like, we're gonna reconsider, we're gonna reconfigure our process. So we also indicate on there if there's a posting, how long that might take. It may take a week, 2 weeks, a month, if it's going internally or externally. So we try to keep a comprehensive explanation on our report of where we're at. So I would say the report that you have on you is from my first round. I would say about 90% of those are filled. Some of them are more difficult to fill, like inspectors. Those are usually pretty difficult to fill. Things like temp employees, things related to Parks and Rec. You know, we're doing a good job of filling those, but it's things that might come up more frequently, are usually the ones that are more difficult to fill. But if you have any questions about any one specific position in mind, feel free to call, text, email me, and I can help figure out where that's at.
So really, what my concern is not so much an open vacancy.
Okay.
Right? So say we add two positions in the budget, right? We all know that it takes a minute to post and interview and all that. My concern was that in Ms. Barnwell's office's case, this was just sort of a little reorg of her people that should have taken, you know, a couple days and be done with. The other situation was in the fire department, someone that had been performing the job for probably 3 years, and it was just a title change and a salary change. And that should have been done immediately. That shouldn't have been something that's taken a year and a half to do, and then out of the blue, be told that the mayor wanted to change it to a civil service position. Well, number one, you know, taking a union position out to replace with a civil service does not go over all that well with me, without some very, very good reasoning and explanation. And to come up with an answer a year and a half later, after we've been discussing it over and over, we should have had an answer right away. If the mayor had a plan, then she should have shown up here or sent a letter the very first time we mentioned it and said, I have this plan. Would you like to sit down and hear what my plan is? But we get none of that. There's no bringing us in and filling us in on anything. So we are left up here to keep asking questions, asking for documentation, and hoping that, I'm not lecturing to you.
No, you're okay.
And, you know, and hoping we get documents. Well, now we've had it, and we're not gonna operate that way anymore.
For the position in fire, I think we're pretty close on getting that one filled. You know,
Good.
fire is our last negotiation union that we're working on. So I would say that one's getting there. And then for Lori Barnwell, I'm just happy we closed the case, right? The position is filled, we're good, so.
We are.
For now.
Unfortunately, that involved all of our time that we don't have, right? All of us had to get involved in emails and all this back and forth, and which quite frankly was nonsense for it to get down to the level of, you know, I'm getting an email about a reorg of one position in one office. That's not something that I should have to be brought in and weigh in on, right?
I would
That's
agree.
your job.
I know that. What am I doing then? You know, I like the conversation that came out of that, though. Right? We have these rules and regulations for civil service. They're very antiquated. We all know that. You know, we're looking to update them and correct what the process looks like. So I think it put to mind a lot of where the union and the department heads and everyone stands on what is a reclass versus a posting versus a promotion versus all these things. You know, we may be able to say off the top of our head what that is, but is it historically what we've been doing? Is it a new practice? How do we set a practice? So it was a good conversation. It was lengthy conversation, but I thought it was good and necessary.
Yeah, well, we're all glad it's taken care of. You're doing a great job. I'm here everywhere I go. You know, thank you for bringing Mr. Gages here. They're very, very grateful that the city brought you here.
Thank you.
Continued success, and thank you for your information. Maybe some other folks have some questions.
Madam President, through the chair.
Mr. Dwyer.
Yeah, I just want to start off by saying I think you're doing a fine job for the city in getting these positions filled, and moving us forward. But currently, what is the status with the police department as far as openings, you know, pending applications? Where do we stand?
So we have our current open enrollment open period for hiring. We're looking to close that at the beginning of December. Then we had to do oral boards and stuff of that nature. But right now we got 3 more applications today, so that puts us at 8. So we have about half that are laterals and half that are recruits. So that's pretty good. You know, every enrollment period comes and goes. Sometimes you have a lot. Sometimes, like at the last one, we had about 30. You know, 8 may seem like nothing to compare to that, but honestly, 1 applicant is better than 0 in my eyes. So it comes and goes, right? We have a good relationship with the police, right? Trying to get our recruitment and things. We have very lengthy discussions as well, but I think they're productive. You know, because you're trying to assess what is the best way to recruit police in this time and era. You know, we want to make sure we're being competitive, but we also want to make sure that we're being fair. So I think 8 so far with a couple days, another week or whatever left, it's still a pretty good spot.
And how many positions are currently unfilled?
That is a good question. It depends on what you, I guess, how you look at the budget and how we have our staffing set. You know, we have some members who are on leave and things of that nature. So the answer just depends. If you would like, I can send you kind of a comprehensive of where we're at with that tomorrow, if that's okay.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, perfect.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question.
Madam Chair?
Ms. McGee and then Mr. Boyke.
Thank you.
Question, those positions that are not filled, are you constantly looking at salary? Whether or not we're paying enough salary? I've seen some positions that were paid rather low.
Yeah.
So are we looking at what the average salary is?
So when department heads come forward with a new job description and things of that nature, sometimes we work with them to assess why has this position not been filled for a year, 2 years, whatever it may be. As Mr. Fox touched upon, with the attorney's contract, we really had to look at what is compatible, comparable, what is long-term going to hold our people here. It's one thing to bring in a wage that is attractive at first, but then if, let's say, Sterling Heights goes and offers 10, 15, 20,000 for the future, what do we look like at that point? So are we doing it frequently? I would say not every position, but I would say as they come up, yeah, we definitely want to reassess, meet with the unions, meet with controllers to make sure we're not overspending our budget, and kind of going from there. I think July, August, September is usually our busiest month, right? That's when we had to repost all of our jobs. We have to look at the new job descriptions, the pay rates and things of that nature. So it depends on the job. If it's comparable to others within their bargaining unit, how does that look? If you try to raise a raise at a spec level, one of the lower levels, how is it going to affect the tech and going forward? You want to make sure there's a good difference between them to balance it out, but at the same time, you want to make sure that, again, you're being comparable with other cities.
Can they apply online as of yet, or how soon would that take place?
So we still have our NeoGov. We got that. We're doing like homework study sessions with this group. We're about 3-4 weeks into that. It's been good. It's been really good. So our first I guess project is trying to get this onboarding application thing on the website. The group has been very, very, I guess, understanding and patient with us. We are outdated to a point compared to other cities, but they understand that, right? They're a national company. They worked with many cities, and so they've been very willing to work with us based off what positions we have, how do we want to do them, how do we notify people. Instead of my staff having to send a letter to say, sorry, you're rejected, we can click an email and it's going to be a standard template, which would be nice. Okay. So it's things like that we're trying to work through. It may be things that we don't even think about until they hit a circumstance. But this group is, I appreciate you guys approving them because they have been really great to work with, but they're also very patient with us as we're going through anything that pops up that we can think of.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Boyke.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I'd like to commend you on your job. You do an excellent job. You're a HR director that takes the hands-on approach, and I appreciate that. Referring to the police vacancies, you said there were 30 applicants the first time around?
Yeah, so we had about 32 applicants, but that's just looking at the applications themselves. Right. So, but then you have to factor in, like, what are the qualifications for them? This could be they didn't take their MCOLs, or they didn't pass a part of the MCOLs, like a physical, they didn't pass a psychological, they didn't pass MCO. Background, yeah. So it quickly dwindles.
And what was the final amount we ended up with?
I believe it was about 8.
8?
So, yeah. And so, but like, that's kind of the balance there, right? You get a great amount of applicants, but then it may dwindle down. Or for instance, right now we have 8, they all might pass. They all might do really good. Correct. So that's where this ongoing communication with PD, fire, whoever it may be, is important because it allows us to reassess, are we too strict? Are we too lenient? Are we looking for the correct things? How do we notify people when they're applying to say, like, hey, you didn't turn in your diplomas and your MCOLS numbers and all this stuff, right? You can literally post it on the website, but most people are just flashing through it to say, like, where's the salary range? I want to see how much I'm making and stuff, so.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, we got 8 applicants right now.
Correct, yeah, we have 8, as of today.
So if it closes at 8, using that same balance, we'll probably end up luckily with 2 or maybe 3
Yeah.
that make the final list.
Yeah,
That's all right.
that's okay.
If that happens, that's, you know, you're doing your job. My next question is, the list closed. When will you put that application notice out again? Would it be the next day to accept new applications, or do you wait till the whole process is done?
So you have to wait for backgrounds to finish, to start hiring people, and then let's say that we exhaust that list. That's the ongoing conversation that we would have to have with the police department on recruiting and enrolling and things of that nature. You know, we try to do it as quickly as we can, and unfortunately, like, we had this conversation this morning at the recruitment meeting. Factors come up that you may not think about, right? It may be due to the police and fire civil service. They have certain requirements that they want us to meet. You know, it may be the list closed. Let's say the list exhausted. We used all 8 people. It's all done. Now we have to go out for another hiring period. But, you know, you have that 30-day
But
window.
isn't that really a delay in hiring? I mean, if you got 15 openings and you're only hiring 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and you gotta wait till that's done, which could take months until you get a,
Oh,
you know.
absolutely. Until you get someone
Absolutely.
that can qualify.
We're losing applicants during that time.
Yeah.
Why can't the list go out, the notice, the next day, and start, continue getting applicants in? We're never gonna fill those positions, never.
Yeah.
Just
No,
a
these are good-
suggestion,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. Yeah, they're, one of the, I think it was
I
one
know
of the-
your hands are tied somewhat on that, but
You're okay.
I
No.
just can't understand why we gotta wait, that's
Yeah.
all.
One of the captains, I believe, on the recruitment team, they suggested like a rolling recruitment, right? Like every month, if we're exhausting it, we're posting it and things. So I think the police have really good ideas, right? It's just us trying to, we mentioned it this morning, getting on the same page for 2026. What are our goals? How do we strategically get there and go from there? I know one of the biggest things is the academies, trying to meet the academy deadlines. Let's say out of these 8, I said we had four, right? What if the 4 laterals don't pass through, but we have 4 recruits, but we didn't make the deadline for Oakland Police Academy or Macomb Community College or whatever? You know, like, how do we make sure that we're getting them in the appropriate time? Do we have a set hiring period every year? You know, and like, it's frustrating, it definitely is, to want to make sure that we're hitting these deadlines for recruits, because we don't want to keep them on for 2 or 3 months just sitting, doing administrative work, right? But at the same time, we don't want to lose them, because it's so competitive right now to get people, sponsor them through the academy, or get anyone at all for the police department.
If you can, look into that, because
course.
I check with other departments, and they have a continuous list. They never close it.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, I think that's something to look into. I appreciate you hiring college kids, you know, off the street and putting them through the academy. That hasn't been done in a long time.
Yeah.
That's great, you know.
I'd agree. I think our police department does a good job of trying to dwindle down. They do a good job on their backgrounds, trying to make sure that we're getting the best, most qualified candidates and stuff. So I think we're in an era where it's so competitive to get police officers that everyone's kind of like, this is mine, don't touch them kind of situation. But at the same time, we're making sure that the people that we are getting are the ones that we actually need, right? And if it's the 19, 20, 21-year-old that qualifies more than the person who may have worked elsewhere but has a pretty spotty background, you want to make sure that you're assessing these kind of needs, so.
See, some time ago, I was told they don't do it because it was a civil service rule.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it is or not, but if it was, you know, someone could go to civil service and get the rule changed.
Absolutely.
You know, as far as that. And I gotta emphasize, you know, Sterling Heights, if they're rolling their applications continuously, why should a guy wait for Warren when they're taking them?
Yeah, and
You know, we're losing them.
And that's kind of what we talked about today too, is, you know, if police are noticing anything different that I may not be noticing, you know, have that discussion with the police and fire civil service. Let them know, right? All the commissioners on their retired police officers, command, whatever it may be. So hearing it from a cop is different than hearing it from HR, because I may be overseeing something that they may see on their day-to-day. So I look forward to our ongoing discussions and trying to fix our recruitment methods to the best of our abilities to really be able to say, haha, Sterling Heights, we got one over on you.
Well, I just appreciate looking into it, you know, and if it could be done, you know, implement it.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
Yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Boyke. Any other discussion? Okay, there was a motion to receive and
Thank you.
file. I will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13A, request of the city controller for a reappropriation of funds from various departments in the amount of $35,541,593 for equipment, vehicles, services, capital improvements, and grant expenditures that were approved in the prior year's budget but not received or completed by June 30th, 2025. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes,
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13B, request to approve a request for proposal for an update to the city's Parks and Recreation Master Plan and to appoint a representative to serve on the RFP. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I believe Mr. Spiller is here. Do you want to come up and talk to us for a minute? I will say I had a very nice discussion with Mr. Spiller last week, and I think that he is going to do great things here. He's got great ideas already, and so I was happy for that. Do you want to explain what this item is?
Yes, thank you. We are going out for another master plan. Our master plan currently right now in the state level will expire on 2027 in February. Takes about a good year to get the process going to make sure that you have a robust master plan that can really fit our needs of our community and really go out. So this time we want to make sure that we're going out and be proactive early ahead of time to get the right candidate in line, get the right vendor, and really had the good discussions and the real good go at this kind of master plan and be a part of it.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Lafferty?
I will volunteer.
No.
Support.
Mr. Lafferty
I'll
has
accept that.
nominated himself. Appreciate that. Anyone else? Okay.
I'll make that my motion. Amend my motion to include Mr. Lafferty.
Mr. Lafferty, you support that amendment, I assume?
I guess I will.
Yeah, thank you. Without any additional discussion, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
certainly.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you, Mr. Spiller. Next item is 13C, which was tabled May 13th, 2025. Request to approve the reappointment of Sultana Chowdhury to the Planning Commission with a term to expire June 30th, 2028. Motion to remove from the table.
Support to remove from the table.
I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes,
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Item is off the table.
Motion to deny with discussion.
Support?
Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to review, this was originally on our May 13th agenda, and it was reviewed as an attendance issue. And Ms. Chowdhury missed 2 meetings in 2023, 5 meetings in 2024, 2 meetings at the beginning of 2025, and an additional meeting during the time that we gave extra time for her to prove good attendance to us. So the last meeting she missed was the 6th of October. When there is an absence on the board, or in this case, a history of absences, the legal counsel must give a disclaimer that the petitioner has the right to a full board to hear their proposal, whether irrespective of whatever that proposal is. It could be a site plan, a major amendment, minor amendment, whatever the case might be, that petitioner has the right to a full board. We must have members that show up to do their job. And that was explained, and I'm disappointed to see that that even 6 months couldn't be perfect attendance to demonstrate in good faith. So, motion to deny.
Madam Chair?
Ms. Moore?
I will mention, the two commissions that matter the most on attendance are planning and ZBA, because those are boards where it doesn't just matter if you have a majority. It does matter if you have a majority for a vote to pass, but the petitioners have a right then to, if they don't have the full board, for a rehearing. Costs money, resources of the city, all, you know, notices and all that kind of thing. So I think we need to probably do spot checks occasionally. Ms. Michaels is looking, she's probably given that speech a couple times in her life, telling people they, you know, can ask for a new meeting. And I've seen that happen. I mean, just not too long ago, there was somebody that asked for it might be under the sheets things maybe or something. Or there was something I saw. But it's extremely important to be in attendance on those two commissions. You know, it doesn't, you know, beautification or one of the other boards, that while what they do is important, it doesn't put us in the situation of maybe having to go to the court or something like that, extra work. So I concur with Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Ms. McGee?
Councilman Lafferty, did you say that she missed one time this year?
No, through the chair. She missed 2 meetings in the early part of '25, and then she also missed, during the time that we gave her, she missed another meeting, which was on the 6th. So for 2025, she missed the February 24th meeting, the March 10th meeting, and again, the 6th of October. And this is attendance records provided by the planning department.
I don't know if I've seen her. You know, me and Hal, if one of us can attend and one, you know, he'll attend. And I remember seeing her at some of them, but not all of them. But then again, I don't see all of the planning commission attending. And that's what be my concern, because we have a few others that are on the commission that I find that they miss, you know, just as much. And so I don't want to get to a point where we have no one on the commission, the planning commission, because I know the last one we had about, I don't know, 3 people missing from the last meeting. Pretty much we had about 3 people missing from the last attendance. Is there a number, a maximum days that they can miss during the year? That's my concern, because you're going to have some that's going to end up falling and missing at least 1 or 2 sessions for an emergency reasons.
Madam Chair?
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mr. Lafferty.
Ms. McGee, the absences that you're expected in the capacity of a planning commissioner or a zoning board member or a city council member, the expected absenteeism is 0. You are appointed or elected to perform your responsibilities, but yes, you are correct. Emergencies come up. All right, nobody can stop somebody from getting sick, being in the hospital, having an extenuating circumstance, but a pattern of attendance, and your argument is perfect. You're underscoring that we have several members that do not attend these meetings, and they're critical compared to the Beautification Commission or the Crime Commission that can operate. They're not making critical business decisions on behalf of the business community that's investing in our city. We need people, we need butts and seats, and we're not getting that. And so this is, and I agree that, you know, the Planning Commission may be short a member or 2, but that is not the fault of this body.
No.
Show up, do your job, and you do it well. You're asking questions. You're performing your due diligence. You are likely going to be reappointed by the mayor.
Now, I'm concerned because I remember speaking to the chair of the planning commission, and he was stating that he has the right to approve those that are absent from the commission, the planning commission.
Madam Chair?
And if, yes, please, I'm sorry.
Much like the council will excuse the absence of a member, that you still have the vacancy during that meeting, for the very reason I stated, that you have a business person, a petitioner, their legal counsel, who have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into their plans. They have construction plans, they have a timeline, and they get to the board and they don't have a full board in front of them. And whether or not that absence is excused or inexcused, it is an absence. They are not there to perform their duty.
Ms. Moore?
And if there are members, I think there are some members that are serving outside of their term. There are several members that have not been sent over for reappointment or new appointment. And anybody that's been sent up to us for reappointment, for planning, we have looked at their attendance record. But we haven't, somebody new appointed, we just don't know until they're on somewhere for a while. Like this body, if there were only 4 of us, right, we could function one night or something. But we couldn't have just voted on that last item on 13A because we have to have 5 members.
Right.
So it is important, attendance is important, and emergencies happen, we understand that, but this is a pattern, and even when she was on probation, she still missed, so.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes, well, I guess I'm interested, I don't want to disable the planning commission for not being as able as they should be. I'd like to have a thought of a plan in place for how we would like to see that corrected. The people who are beyond being the time that they should of their term, I would like to know who exactly. I think we already know who they are, and then I think we should have a plan for saying let's start appointing people or reappointing them if necessary. And in the case of Ms. Chaudhry, at least I think in the year that she had 5 absences, I think she was taking care of her mother who was catastrophically ill or something. Well, I guess and I'm not defending her necessarily. I'm saying, what would we have liked her to have done in that case, or anyone else on the council who has a catastrophic reason for why they can't be there? They're constantly voting to excuse the absence. They're as far as the planning commission is concerned, they're following the process. They're considering what is the case, and they're dutifully calling in when they can't come, I guess. I'm not really privy to the whole process, but I mean they're acting as a functioning board in most regards. But so those are my questions around this. I don't want the planning commission to not be able to work because they totally don't have even a quorum or something, because everybody's out of their appointed period of time that they were supposed to serve.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
You can continue to serve, and your vote counts, even if you are there past your term. One of the reasons that we have requested that all of the boards and commissions that are listed on the city's website include their expiration date so that we can watch that, and so that we know this person hasn't and they're out of their term, and we'll be looking for someone else to be in that position. And then if we know somebody's term is coming to an end, we might know people that, oh, you'd be really good on planning, or sometimes somebody comes to ZBA and we talk to them, I go, you'd be a better fit for planning, or whatever. And that would give us, we could help to fill some of those positions. But, I mean, if we're gone 4 meetings, we're gone on council. You can, if you miss 4 in a row, you can be gone. So there, I mean,
Okay.
we just can't, it's too important. Planning and zoning is just too important for us to have those kind of absences, because I get the calls, right? I get the calls, the complaints about that. It comes to council office. So, and that is why we are the final decision on who gets appointed and who doesn't, because we're responsible for what happens in this city.
I still have the floor?
Go ahead.
So, Ms. Moore, what should she have done when, under those circumstances, if she's going to miss?
The four, she should resign. If there's things in her personal life that are interfering, that make it difficult for
Okay.
her to get a meeting, she should just resign. And maybe
Yeah.
she'll want to be on some other commission that doesn't require that rigid of attendance.
And if people have to travel, for instance, to Bangladesh and be
Right.
gone for several meetings, then
Resign.
they should resign and
Correct.
let someone else fill, okay.
Correct. Or
That
some-
makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people have had to travel, they got jobs out of town, and they, I think, remember, what was it, McClanahan?
Mm-hmm.
He, he had to travel, he was missing, so he just resigned because it wasn't fair to the body that he was
Okay.
missing.
I
And,
yield.
your job comes first, and we
Thank-
understand that.
Thank you.
Yep.
That was really good.
But I think, it's my turn.
Yes, Ms. McGee and then Mr. Lefferts.
So, again, I know you said 0 absences, and as I said, I witnessed, along with Councilman Noonan, witnessed where they were absent, whether they were on vacation or they had some emergency situation, and the chair agreed to it and said that we are going to excuse their absences. At this point in level, knowing that she missed 3 days and probably one of them missed 3 days, how are we gonna have a process in place to say that they can't miss? If we miss 4 times, if they miss 4 times, how are we gonna know that process in place and we're following that process?
I'll quickly respond. When their appointments come up, they
That's
won't
the
get
only way.
Yeah, I mean, unless someone changes the planning commission bylaws, which is done by the state. And then I don't know if that has to then go to the planning commission or who might.
Yeah, the Planning Enablement Act.
Thank you.
So they will have to change the charter.
Well, so Mr. Schroeder, the bylaws, state attendance?
The bylaws state planning commission members are expected to attend all meetings of the planning commission, section 5.4. They can't remove their own members.
Who can?
So the Planning Enabling Act, the state law, calls for misfeasance or malfeasance in office. I suppose if someone has excessive absences, they could be removed for misfeasance of office, right? Not attending to your duties. And then that could be a procedure that could take place. At this point, again, it's the council's discretion as to whether they want to confirm this appointment or not, based on this set of factors.
So,
Only because she's up for.
correct.
Okay.
So if another person, another commissioner that you're referencing is up for reappointment, they likely would be denied as well, given their attendance. And if there wasn't, an instance, for example, Ms. Moore and I both had breast cancer, it would be understood if we were missing a meeting or two because we had health.
did it.
Had health. I missed one, but, yeah. But it would be understood if that information was shared with the appropriate people, HR or whomever. Clearly, folks would take some empathy around that.
Okay.
However, if you are not communicating that and you consistently miss meetings, for example, if we were going through extensive cancer treatments, that one of us might have to resign because we wouldn't be able to do our duty, right? So, as people come up for reappointment, that is likely when they would be approved or denied based on their
Right.
attendance records.
And Madam Chair, I think if we go back and listen to the audio or the meeting that we had when this planning commissioner came, well, I'm gonna try to come, and it wasn't like, it was kind of a half-hearted interest to me of attending at the time. So that's what has been kind of in my mind, that I don't think she understood how important it was to be there, and I thought that we conveyed that it was important, but apparently not.
But I remember talking to the chair, and the chair was stating that he thought that he had, once he approved them missing for whatever reasons, let's say she was taking care of her mother who was sickly, that the entire planning commission felt that it was okay for them to approve that person being missing those sessions.
They can do what
and
they
that was
want
good
at their
enough.
meeting, but we
Yeah.
make the decision about who is gonna
Once it's
continue.
reappointed, we
Yeah.
make the decision.
Correct.
Okay. Understandable.
Any other, or Mr. Lafferty, you still had something to share?
Just a thought that Councilman Noonan brought up. It falls to the mayor. The mayor's responsible for appointing members to all of the boards and commissions, and they have to understand at the time that they're being interviewed or the time that we have our discretion to call them and ask them questions, that are you committing to being present at these meetings, especially for Planning Commission? Are you attesting that you are going to be involved and present for these meetings? This is how important it is. Explain the business purpose of the meeting and the economic dependencies upon this commission. And as long as they answer in the affirmative and they commit, as we do every other Tuesday, the second and fourth Tuesday, we're here. And some of us have had a missed meeting or two, but the majority of the time we are here. Because this is what we were elected to do. We chose to do this. And so I take it very seriously. I take attendance very seriously. And so the Planning Commission, to Ms. McGee's point, while they might say, oh, well, that those absences were excused, well, now they have a reinforcement. As Ms. Moore stated, we have our charter duty to ensure that the right people are being appointed for the right reasons, and that we are holding the line on attendance, we're holding the line, and we're raising the level of expectation for performance of your duty, irrespective if that absence was excused or not. At the end of the day, if you're not here to vote, you're not doing your job.
Thank you, Mr. Lafferty. I will call the question. This is a motion to deny. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes to deny.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13D. This item was on the consent agenda as 4E, request of the Department of Public Works to increase the award for the purchase of Sutphen Repair Services and Parts and Equipment through Apollo Fire Apparatus Repair, Inc., retroactively for the final 2 years of the agreement from an annual amount not to exceed $50,000 to an annual amount not to exceed $100,000, consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Boyke?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is audience participation for general topics.
Members of the audience who would like to address City Council this evening may do so under the audience portion by filling out a general audience form located on the right side of the stage. You have 3 minutes. Ms. Sanker, if you plan to speak, please get your form in. First up is Gary Watts.
Good evening. So, I had a meeting about 2 weeks ago with the commissioner. And the actual number that I came up with after we went through all the numbers is, not including the ones that are in the academy, we're 18 short. And then you put the ones that are in the academy and the ones that are in the hiring process, that puts us to about 25 short, because they won't be manpower for quite a while. That's a lot of officers. And then when you figure how many officers we got, I wrote this up on social media. You know, how many officers we have tied up in public schools as school resource officers. We're down a lot of street boots on the ground. We need these positions filled. And I know that Mr. Gajos is doing a great job as HR director, but we just need to be the third largest city in the state. We need to be thinking outside the box and have some rather aggressive hiring practices, or recruiting practices, I should say. And, maybe New York City would be a good place to go get some guys, because I heard about 5,000 put their resignations in, so I know we don't need all those, but we could hire some. The other thing that I was kind of disappointed to hear tonight, that once again the mayor has played a silly game. This is getting ridiculous. How many things that she's in violation of, and during my term on council, I know we spent a lot of time in court, and a lot of this stuff has already been ruled on. So I get the point, and I want to go back to court, but she's got to be held to the same standards. And finally, on the planning commission, you have a member that was appointed while I was on council that was delinquent in his taxes up until the day he got appointed, and he paid 3 years back taxes to get approved that night. And here we are, he's been delinquent on his taxes every year, consistent, and still, as of today, he's still delinquent. Plus, his term was expired. I don't know how many months now. Last I knew it was like 7 or 8 months. This is ridiculous. The mayor needs to do better. The residents are tired of it. I've never seen the kind of comments on Facebook that I've seen about her. I did a whole write-up what she accomplished in 2 years, posted in 2 different places. There's probably 50, 60 comments, not one of them good, except for one. And the one lady said, she's doing a great job. And she says, but I live in West Bloomfield. This is serious. This is very serious. I don't know what we do about it, but we need to resolve. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and see you in December.
Thank you. Next is Pete Sutcliffe.
Good evening. A few weeks ago, there came before the council an approval for an RFP to form a climate action plan. Some of the responses to the idea of funding a survey of climate action by the city were typical. It'll cost money. It's not happening here. It's out in the ocean. If we get a plan, we won't implement it anyway, so why bother? So why should we care about climate change? What is causing it, and what, if anything, will reverse it? Since I just have 3 minutes, let's talk about why it matters. Okay. Number one, agriculture is Michigan's second largest industry, and it's over 52,000 farms, as well as food-related occupations, contribute more than $125 billion to the state economy and employs 17.2% of the workforce. Climate change has a big impact on farming and food because agriculture is dependent on seasonal regularity. Farming has been a risky business for centuries, of course, but farmers are seeing more unusual weather events than ever before. Droughts or torrential downpours make it difficult to plant or to harvest or for crops to even survive. And we all have to eat food, don't we? Number two, power outages. Okay, they've been more likely with the severe weather here in Michigan. Ice storms have broken 1 million acres of trees in the Lower Peninsula within the last year. High winds alone can also cause power outages. People can lose hundreds of dollars of food in just one power outage. Are we just going to wait until people are without power for weeks before we realize we could have done something? Number three, flooding has been an ongoing problem in Warren for years and will only get worse with more severe storms. Have you ever had sewage come up in your basement? Did any of you have a car floating in the water on Mound Road from the flood of August 2014? Warren residents have these things happen to them. So the question is, what is the city of Warren going to do about it? And lastly, outdoor sports or tourism, they're also affected. This is another big part of Michigan's economy. Whether you're talking about skiing, snowmobiling, ice, or other fishing, all kinds of hunting, these are all affected negatively by a warmer climate. more fish die from water temperature rising a few degrees than from pollution, because it reduces oxygen availability in the water. And also, apparently, it's a lot harder to hunt deer when you have millions of acres of trees broken by ice storms.
You're at time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is David Metzler.
Good evening, David Metzler, Zone 5. I was here last month regarding the staging area. I wanted to come back to follow up, and I do thank Councilman Noonan regarding follow-up, as well as Ms. Gapshis. But I wanted to elaborate a little bit more because maybe I wasn't clear. This is the parking, the area near the parking deck by City Hall. This area is zoned for parking, and this is not just a one-off problem. We've had constant, well, not constant, but frequent staging use of that area. I believe that the city should adopt a 500-foot rule as it comes to these types of properties because of the fact that they're not zoned for heavy use, as this is. And I would like council to propose an ordinance regarding this, basically stating that within 500 feet of a residence, unless it is zoned accordingly, that it should not be used as a staging area. So that's just my opinion. Second thing I'm coming to you tonight about is a very serious issue. Happened on November 13th at 5 o'clock at the Henry Ford Hospital on 12 Mile. My friend visited the hospital because their child had a concussion and she wanted to go see him. She had pepper spray that was in her pocket that she carries around for protection, and security told her to go to her car and put it back. She complied. She came back up to the desk and they said, "Oh no, you can't come in because you had pepper spray, so we're trespassing you from this property." It's a very serious situation when my friend cannot get services from the nearest hospital to her home. She lives in Roseville, somewhat close to the Warren border, and she can't come to this hospital now to get service because of the fact that she was trespassed. She was shouted at by the officer, Officer Brooklier, that she needs to leave immediately, and he had not given her license back to her. And it's a situation where there may have been discrimination involved. She is transgender, and I can't prove that, but it was a very ugly incident. She's there to visit her child, and she can't go see the child. So now she's afraid to visit Warren, and she fears retaliation from the police after this incident if she comes back, because she can no longer get services at Henry Ford. She has petitioned the hospital, but there hasn't been a response. And I think that this type of misconduct should not be permitted and should be addressed.
You're at time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Gloria Sanker.
Good evening. Today is November the 25th, 1 month before, should I say it, Christmas. In years to come, will we continue as the land of the free, or will we mourn it as a memory? Every time we don't bring up an injustice, we lose liberty. Every citizen should enjoy protection from free speech to religious liberty. As we fight for these freedoms, we need to, because other people have fought to give them to us. Liberty is not fought just in Washington. It's fought wherever there is a dysfunctional government. Our country is founded on Judeo-Christian principles. How sad that so many people are not aware of this. I'm talking about our mayor. We all got notice of Warren's tree lighting on December the 6th. Not once did Lori Stone say Christmas in that notice. It's all holiday, like she didn't know what the holiday stands for. She shows no concern for the Christian population in Warren, which according to Google says we have a strong Christian presence, and in fact about 61% of adults identify with the faith. Warren is home to a large and vibrant religious community, but she does not recognize our population. She does, however, along with this city council, welcome gays and give them a gay parade and a day of festivities. Jim Fouts, our past mayor, recognized the Christian community and set up a nativity scene at City Hall. It was taken to court, and fortunately the city won, which means any community can display the nativity scene without fear of a lawsuit. Jim Fouts also said, in my opinion, the nativity scene is really the true meaning of Christmas. Lori Stone can't even say the word Christmas, much less put the child Jesus under the Christmas tree. And in his Christmas greeting to the residents, Fouts said, let's put God and faith into this holiday season. And he closes by saying, I wish you and yours a merry and holy Christmas. God bless you and your family. Wow, now that's how a greeter leads their Christian population. The name of the season is Christmas. Be proud to celebrate its true meaning. Actually, it's more than a holiday. It's never been a holiday in its true meaning. It's a holy day. And Lori Stone can't even say the word Christmas.
You're at time. Thank you. That is the end of audience. Next item.
Council response to audience.
Hearing and seeing none. Next item.
Motion to adjourn.
Support Dwyer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Have a good evening.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.